Sometimes, a single play changes everything. It can alter the course of a game, a season, even a career. On a Monday night that should have been a celebration for the Miami Dolphins, the entire NFL held its breath. The team secured its first victory of the 2025 season, a hard-fought 27-21 win over the division rival New York Jets. But the final score felt like a footnote. The real story, the one that will echo through the rest of this season, unfolded early in the third quarter, under the bright lights of prime time. That's when the Dolphins' most electric player, their human joystick, Tyreek Hill, went down. The play itself looked routine, at least for a moment. A short pass, a turn upfield, a fight for extra yardage along the sideline. But the result was anything but ordinary. It was a gut punch to the Dolphins organization and its fan base. The sight of Hill, one of the league's most durable and explosive athletes, writhing on the turf was jarring. The immediate concern from players on both sidelines told you this was serious. The celebration of a big divisional win was instantly replaced by a somber reality. The Dolphins had just lost their heart and soul, the engine of their high-powered offense. The win was on the board, but the loss felt far greater. The initial silence in the stadium was deafening, a stark contrast to the usual roar that follows a Hill reception. As trainers rushed onto the field, the gravity of the situation began to sink in. Hill, the player nicknamed Cheetah for his world-class speed, was carted off the field with an air cast immobilizing his left leg. The win felt hollow. The joy was gone. In its place was a deep uncertainty about what would come next. Miami had finally found its way into the win column, but in the process, they had lost the very player who so often guided them there. The victory over the Jets was overshadowed by a loss that will be felt for months to come. The news that followed the next morning confirmed everyone's worst fears. What was witnessed on the field was as bad as it looked. The team announced that Hill had suffered a catastrophic injury to his left knee, an injury that would require immediate surgery and officially end his 2025 campaign, just 4 games in. The breaking news sent shockwaves across the league. A player who seemed invincible, who had only missed 1 game in his entire Dolphins tenure before this, was suddenly out for the year. So, what happened on that fateful play? Hill had caught a pass and was fighting for every inch along the sideline as he always does. He was tackled by Jets defensive back Malachi Moore, and as he was wrestled to the ground, his left leg twisted grotesquely beneath him. The angle was unnatural, a sight that makes even the most hardened football fans wince. Hill immediately grabbed for his knee, his face contorting in pain. It was clear from the instant he hit the turf that this was not a minor tweak or a simple sprain. This was the type of injury that players and coaches dread, the kind that casts a long shadow over a season. The official diagnosis, delivered on Tuesday morning, was brutal and complex. Hill suffered a dislocated knee, far more severe than a dislocated kneecap. A knee dislocation means the thigh bone and the shin bone have been forced out of alignment. This traumatic event almost always results in significant damage to surrounding soft tissues. In Hill's case, it was a worst-case scenario. He tore multiple ligaments, the vital bands that hold the knee joint together. The most significant was a complete tear of his anterior cruciate ligament, the ACL, crucial for knee stability. A dislocated knee is one of the most serious injuries an athlete can sustain. It's not just one torn ligament, it's the joint's entire structural integrity being compromised. In the face of such a devastating, career-altering moment, you might expect despair. You might anticipate anger or frustration. But that's not Tyreek Hill. Carted off the field, with his season clearly in jeopardy, Hill did something remarkable. He looked toward the crowd, smiled, laughed, and forcefully clapped his hands several times. It was a display of defiance, a message that his spirit remained intact, a flash of the personality and leadership that make him beloved in the Miami locker room. Not defeated, already beginning his next fight. That mental fortitude continued long after he left the stadium. His agent, Drew Rosenhaus, spoke about Hill's mindset in the hospital. Rosenhaus said he was blown away by Hill's uplifting attitude and his unwavering positivity. Surrounded by his parents and his agent, Hill reportedly kept a smile on his face, expressing gratitude for his career and the position he is in. Following the on-field assessment, Hill was transported to a local hospital. The team confirmed he would undergo surgery on Tuesday to begin repairing the extensive damage. The procedure will address the torn ACL and the other compromised ligaments, stabilizing the joint for the best chance at full recovery. Modern medicine has advanced, but there are no shortcuts with an injury of this magnitude. The 2025 season is over for Tyreek Hill. Now the focus shifts from chasing records to the day-by-day process of rehabilitation and recovery. Losing Tyreek Hill is a massive blow, and there's really no way to sugarcoat it. The impact on the Dolphins' offense will be immediate, and honestly, pretty profound. Before the injury, Hill was off to another blistering start this season. Through the first 3 games, he led the team with 198 receiving yards. On Monday night alone, he had 67 yards on 6 catches. He was the focal point of the passing attack. Defensive coordinators spent all week trying to contain him. His mere presence dictated coverages and created opportunities for everyone else. Hill is more than a stat sheet stuffer, the NFL's preeminent home run threat. He possesses a gear no one else matches. That speed forces safeties deep, which opens the intermediate passing lanes for Jalen Waddle, and creates lighter boxes for the running game. Without Hill taking the top off, opponents can play more aggressively. They can press other receivers. They can bring an extra defender into the box to stop the run. They can make life much tougher for Tua Tagovailoa.